In the headline, Presidential Tribunal adjourns Obi pre-hearing against Tinubu to May 19. Police recovers firearms, arrest 5 suspects in connection to Tuesday's killing in Plateau. Canter drivers block Mina Bida Road in protest against police brutality. And from the international scene, Lesotho declares indefinite curfew to tackle gun crime. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in full. The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Abuja on Wednesday, adjourned to Friday, May 19th for continuation of pre-hearing in the petition by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, against the President-elect Bola Tinubu. LP National Chairman Julius Abure and the party's factional chairman, Lamidi Apapa, were both present in court on Wednesday. The tribunal had last week adjourned the pre-hearing session on Obi and the LP's petition till May 17th at the instance of the petitioners. On Wednesday, the justices arrived to commence the day's proceedings and also refused to acknowledge the representation of the party aside from Obi. A mild drama, however, ensued between the two camps of the Labour Party on which group should be in court. The tribunal refused to take an appearance for the LP as acting national chairman of the party, Lamidi Apapa, as well as the national women's leader of the party, Juduma Nugu, tried to make an appearance for Labour Party when the petition was called. Justice Haruna Tamani noted that if 2 persons are making an appearance for the party, they will not be put on record. Now, fresh from a 2-week trip to the United Kingdom, President Muhammadu Buhari has proceeded over weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council at the State House, Abuja. The president, who returned to Abuja on Tuesday from London, is chairing an important council meeting, which serves as a precursor to the forthcoming valedictory session for cabinet members next Wednesday. There are reports that Wednesday meeting is to consider no fewer than 60 memos as the administration approaches the end of its tenure on May 29, 2023. Present at the meeting holding at the council chambers are Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, retired, and the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemiasa. Wednesday's meeting records an impressive attendance rate of over 98%, with both ministers and ministers of state in attendance. Now, cabinet members participated in discussions and light-hearted banter before commencement of the meeting. President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised to hit the ground running and unify the country upon his assumptions of office come May 29. Tinubu further pledged to work to ensure continued positive relations with the United States in order to build on the gains of the partnership between both nations. The president-elect stated this in a telephone conversation with U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. According to a communique by his spokesman, Tunde Rahman, the former Lagos State governor, said his immediate priorities as president would be to deliver institutional reforms and development programs to deepen democratic institutions and bring help to poor and vulnerable Nigerians. On his part, Secretary Blinken assured that Nigeria should expect a good and mutually beneficial relationship with the U.S. He promised to play his part in ensuring and sustaining a cordial relationship between the two nations, saying a democratic and peaceful Nigeria is important to the United States as it is to Africa. Now, members of KKB community in Chukun local government area of Kaduna State say that they are now living in fear after a suspected terrorist blew up himself with an improvised explosive device in an attempt to evade arrest by security operatives who invaded his residence on Monday. According to the community, the heavy gunshot and the sound of the explosive device sent shivers to the entire community. The report.
KKA is one of the growing communities in Chukwu local government area of Kaduna State. The inhabitants of the community are still in shock over the discovery of a suspected terrorist in the area, who later killed himself with an EID. They narrate their experience of the incident.
To abin da yake faruwa shekaran jiya dai around 11:30 to 1. So mun dai ji
at about 11:30 p.m. on Sunday to 1 a.m. on Monday, security agencies stormed our area. We panicked, but security operatives told us to be calm, that they came for a suspect. They broke into the house, but couldn't arrest him because he blew up himself with an explosive device. They, however, found his wife, his 2 children, and another young person whom they left with.
Da kanshi da bomb, amma kuma sun samu matan shi da yara guda 2 da wani saurayi guda 1 a cikin gidan.
We have never had such incidents where someone living with us here used explosive device to kill himself. According to them, the suspected terrorist lived in the area for a few months in an isolated manner.
So ba za a ce an san shi kai tsaye ba saboda bai wuce almost 2 months.
Most people here don't know him because he lived for barely 2 months and did not socialize with people. He drove a tinted glasses car, so just a few people knew his face. This is the residence of the suspected terrorist who blew himself in an attempt to evade the arrest of the combined security agencies who stormed the house in the early hours of Monday morning. You can see the house is scattered with bullet holes and everywhere. The mood of the community is very low due to the fear of the exchange of fire that took place between the suspected terrorists and the combined security agency.
To gaskiya mutane gaba ɗaya an shiga cikin ɗimuwa da tashin hankali.
We are living in fear because we didn't expect to have such people with us. Right now, we don't know who is who now.
So kaga yanzu al'umma za su koma tunanin waye za su rike ya zama musu jagora.
We have been living with the fear of kidnappers who used to terrorize us, but this incident of a suspected terrorist in our community sent fears down our spines. The community, while applauding security agencies for fishing out the whereabouts of the terrorist, are however appealing for more effort to secure the area. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Some former senators have urged other aspirants for Senate presidency to step down for former Akwa Ibom State Governor Godswill Akpabio, who has been endorsed by APC leadership. They also pledged to mobilize critical stakeholders to ensure the emergence of Akpabio and Barrow Jibrin as the Senate President and Deputy Senate President of the 10th National Assembly. The former lawmakers, under the auspices of group of non-serving senators, made the pledge on Tuesday night during a meeting with Akpabio and Jibrin in Abuja. The Governor of Cross River State, Benedict Ayade, Minister of Special Duties, George Akume, former Senate President, Ame Ebute, and Barnabas Gimade were among dignitaries present at the meeting. The convener of the group, Bashir Ladu, while briefing newsmen, said that they backed Akpabio and Jibrin to ensure a religious balance in the composition of the 10th National Assembly leadership. Now, meanwhile, in anticipation of the upcoming inauguration of the 10th National Assembly in June, Minister of Women Affairs Pauline Talen is pushing for the election of a female lawmakers as the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. During her address at the launch of the 50-50 Women Advocacy Group by Women Aid Collective, WACO, in Abuja on Tuesday, Minister Talen expressed her concern over the continued discrimination and bias faced by women in various aspects of their lives, including the workplace and the political sphere. Highlighting the significance of women-led advocacy and its role in shaping society, the minister acknowledged Nigerian women's unwavering commitment to advocating for social change, fighting for their rights, and giving voice to the silenced. The executive director of WACO, Professor Joy Ngozi Ezelo, also addressed the gathering, explaining that the 50-50 project aims to enhance women's capabilities and equip them with the necessary knowledge and skills to champion their cause at the community and the state levels. And now in security, the Plateau State Police Command on Wednesday says that it has arrested 5 persons in connection to the attack launched on Tuesday morning in 2 villages of Mango local government area of the state. The police also says exhibits recovered includes AK-47 rifle, a revolver, pistol, and cartridges. In a statement by the spokesperson of the police command, DSP Alabo Alfred, the arrested suspects are in the custody of Operation Safe Haven, a security task force maintaining peace in the state. According to the police, in the course of the struggle with the attackers, one CPL Abdullahi Umar attached to Sector 8 STF sustained bullet injuries and is currently receiving treatment at the STF headquarters, Jos. Now, 2 Hilux vans belonging to NSCDC were overrun and vandalized by the attackers. And now we'll be joined by Ajo Musa to give us more report. Ajo Musa, tell us how the police, were able to, in short time, were able to come up with, getting this corporate, and how has the work been? Because we know it can be really challenging getting corporate attacking a particular community like this, about 2 communities, a really sad one there.
Yeah. Well, according to the spokesperson of the police state command, DSP Alabo Alfred, following the report of the attack, the commissioner of police mobilized all his men alongside other security agencies to the area to ensure that the attackers were arrested and then dealt with. And fortunately for them, when they got there, they were able to chase away the attackers and even recover a vehicle said to have been abandoned by some of the attackers. So following the deployment of the security personnel to the affected communities, the head of security agencies in the state, led by the State Commissioner of Police, Bartolome Onyeka, and the State Deputy Governor, Sonny Teoden, visited the scene of the incident this morning to sympathize with the victims, or rather the families of the victims that lost their lives during the incident. When contacted on the rumor that there was such a similar attack this morning on 2 communities where 12 people were also killed, the spokesperson of the State Police Command denied that there was nothing of such, but then that people are still seeing fleeing those communities to other places to have a cover.
Okay, these communities now, how are they receiving, the aftermath of this situation? Is fleeing the right way, for them to get refuge? Because staying in your community and fighting for it would have been better. So what has been their response to the police and the government's efforts so far?
Okay, well, the police keep saying that they are still making effort to ensure that even those who have fled their communities are taken back to their various communities. But you know that this is not always easy, because it doesn't just happen. There's no way that the security personnel will be able to take these residents of the affected communities back to their communities, simply because these people, they are in fear of the unknown. If people are still fleeing their communities, that is to other communities, this is to tell you that it is not easy for even the security personnel at the moment to say that, okay, they will bring back these residents to their various communities. But all we know at the moment is that security personnel have already deployed security personnel to these affected communities, even to other areas that were not attacked, but they are still in fear of what may happen later. So I want to believe that the security agencies are doing their best, looking at the roadblocks that have been mounted, like I said earlier, that is in the headquarters of Mongo, and looking at the personnel that have been sent to the affected areas. So it is believed that the security agencies, security personnel are still there trying to ensure that the law and order is restored in those affected communities.
Okay. Well, we hope that, of course, the perpetrators get to face justice. Thank you, Ado Musa, for that report.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, so moving on to more stories. Tankers drivers have blocked the Mina-Bida road to protest alleged police brutality. Report says that police on patrol along Mina-Suleja road trailed on the drivers from Peko to Pakungu roundabout, where the driver, who was involved in an accident, tried to escape. Eyewitnesses said a police van was damaged during the incident. Now, when Trust TVs arrived at the scene, the driver of the tanker was said to have already been detained at the Pakungu police stations, but his assistant, Abubakar Adamu, alleged that the police demanded money from his boss in Paiko, about 15 kilometers to Mina.
As the situation is in order, the GRA commander is here, the Pakungu division commander is also here, and they try to put things in order. And the trader union of drivers also, they are also here too, to see how the situation will become. So far, so the issue is a little bit relevant now.
Okay, really, you know, please tell us what is the major reason why they follow them for Paiko?
Yes, they try to stop the vehicle for inspection. Why the driver decided maybe they want to collect the big sound ransom. Now take the way from Paiko down to this place, and which they have to follow him and the man met him here.
Okay, now we see the motor, especially that one where they the tire don't get flat.
Yes.
So now accident thing there for that place and wait.
So the thing, but what they might be back and close the road. When he came, he now stood there. So he didn't know that there is a stone there, so he entered the stone by himself.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll take a look at youth at the forefront of recycling businesses in Gombe State. Details on this and more after the break. Stay with us.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130.
Treated a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secured are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. And here is a recap of our top stories. We brought you Presidential Tribunal adjourns Obi pre-hearing against Tinubu to May 19th. And police recover firearms, arrest 5 suspects in connection to Tuesday's killing in Plateau. Now moving on to more stories. The National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, was established on May 22nd, 1973 by the former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, to unite the country after the Nigerian Civil War. Now 50 years after, the Director General of the NYSC, Yushau Ahmed, has been speaking on the impact of the Corps as well as the challenges in delivering on its mandates. Noel Sampson has more.
For many, The National Youth Service Corps has lived up to its mission, which is to inculcate discipline in Nigerian youths by installing in them a tradition of industry at work and of patriotic and loyal service to Nigeria in any situation they find themselves. This, the Corps GG said, is not without challenges.
Like any other government agency, NYSC faces some operational challenges which we are doing our best to surmount. They include, but not limited to, the following: paucity of funds, inadequate facilities in many orientation camps in the face of the yearly increase in the population of core participants. It is pertinent to note that at inception in 1973, the number of core members that were mobilized was 2,364. Today, the scheme is mobilizing over 300,000 core members annually.
The Director General also used the medium to address issues concerning security of corps members, saying it is a top priority of the scheme.
We are conscious of the security of the core members. That is the reason why we don't even deploy them where there is any other of security challenges. We are conscious of that. Recently, you said you were aware of what we were talking everywhere on the media when some government officials from Innocent were complaining we did not deploy, we refuse to deploy core members for election. We said no, we will not deploy them there. Not only for election. In the case where we don't deploy core members for national service in such communities because of the fear of crisis. So what are you talking about the election now? Other normal supporters who don't send core members. Now election, you want to send core members. We will not send them. It's part of our memorandum of understanding. We are parents too. We are aware of some of these fears. We can never come and carry somebody's child and now send to crisis front area.
Across the nation, Nigerians believe the scheme is significant in Nigerians' unity as it has helped in solidifying relationships across diverse groups in Nigeria through its compulsory one-year nation's service. This was recently demonstrated with the hashtag NYSC50, where Nigerians went to their archives to dig up and share memories of their service years in commemoration of the scheme's 50th anniversary. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Thousands of youths in Gombe State have engaged in scavenging and trading scrap goods, metals, rubber, plastics, and aluminium that are being recycled in factories. Now, hundreds of them who operate in Gombe Old Market have been major suppliers of aluminium materials used to manufacture local cooking pots and kitchen utensils. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail meets a group of scavengers in Gombe Old Market and who shares, of course, their successes and challenges in the business while responding to allegations of buying stolen materials from children. Take a look.
These scavengers and scrap dealers are providing job opportunities for hundreds of youth in Gombe for self-reliance. Some of them have been in the business for over a decade and made significant progress. Scavenging has done everything for me. I have a house and family. I sponsor my children's education, cater for the family, and even help others. I have achieved a lot. I have a motorbike and bought a smartphone, and I am building my house. My life is getting better. However, the scavengers are under fire over allegations of buying stolen materials, including those brought by minors, something they admitted but said they are working toward sanitizing their jobs. We sanctioned any RN member in the association who is found wanting, and we have even dismissed others who were found guilty. Recently, an Almajiri boy was killed in Yamal Tudeba local government area of the state when he picked something that exploded. But the State Scavengers Association said it has nothing to do with the boy's death. The Gombe command of the Nigeria police confirmed the incident without giving further details.
Yes, we are aware of the incident that there was an explosion that caused the life of one Almajiri and injuring 3. But we cannot say the cause for now. What caused the explosion, we don't know. But the Commissioner of Police, CP Oka Etim, has directed the Explosive Ordnance Device Unit, that is EOD, to carry on investigation to find out the cause of the explosion.
Scavengers and scrap dealers are contributing to job creation, but many believe their activities should be regulated. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
The federal government has commenced the payment of salary arrears to lecturers in the Department of Basic Medical Sciences, Basic Clinical Sciences and Medicine across some federal universities. The lecturers are under the Nigerian Association of Medical and Dental Academics, one of the two splinter group licensed by the government to reduce the influence of the academic staff union of the universities. The government had in 2022 implemented a no work, no pay rule against lecturers for 7 months due to the strike embarked upon by the ASU. Efforts to get the government to pay the lecturers the withheld salaries for the duration of strike by ASU proved abortive. But the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, a body which encompasses medical doctors in the academics and other consultant medical doctors, explained to the government that the medical schools were not shut down during the period of strike, hence the salaries of their members should not be withheld. A source from the Nnamdi Azikiwe University confirmed that medical lecturers have been paid their withheld salaries. Now from the foreign scene, authorities in Lesotho have declared an indefinite curfew in the hope that curtailing the movement of people at night will help curb the gun violence in the small southern African kingdom. The curfew comes just days after a prominent radio journalist was shot dead in a killing that shocked the nation. Residents are banned from being outside between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. according to the document signed by Police Commissioner Holomo Molibeli. The curfew will remain in peace until further notice. Those failing to comply face a fine or up to 2 years in jail. Police Minister Lebono Lefema said that the move aimed to tackle gun violence across the country. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Updates. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.